and welcome to Prime Property, your weekly real estate reckoner. I'm Nayantara Rai and this is what we have on the show today.
Bhiwadi is the only bright spot in the National Capital Region according to MOTILAL OSWAL. We find out what's so impressive about this city in Rajasthan. Legal solutions for all the home buyers facing troubles with their builders in the city of Noida. If you thought Sotheby's only sells art, you're mistaken. Find out Sotheby's plans for luxury real estate.
The National Capital Region has been the biggest victim of the property market slowdown. The worst hit, NCR has the highest unsold inventory in the country, pegged at 348 million square feet by real estate rating agency License for Us. How long is it going to take to sell off all this unsold inventory? According to License for Us, 64 months, that's 5 years and 4 months. Given these dynamics, no wonder buyers are staying away as they're convinced a steep price correction is very much on the cards. But if one does want to buy in the NCR, where should it be? Bhiwadi, that's according to MOTILAL OSWAL. It has concluded Bhiwadi to be the next big real estate destination in the NCR. Bhiwadi, incidentally, is 65 kilometers away from New Delhi and is going to house the second international airport in the NCR.
Well, so we traveled for 2 days. We traveled from Gurgaon to Jaipur, and the 3 cities which we visited were Bhiwadi, Nimrana and Jaipur. All of them were in Rajasthan. So quite interestingly, I'll just start with Bhiwadi. It's a city just around 40 kilometers away from Gurgaon. It takes around 40 minutes to travel by road. NH8 is the road. I find a lot of potential in this city because of 2 things. One, as I mentioned, the distance is short, and second, there is a lot of industrialization happening in that particular area. If you just go there, you'll find that probably most of the the new entrants in India like Micromax, Gillette, even some of the cement companies, they are present in those locations. But most importantly, currently the demand over there is driven by the population in Gurgaon. Because in the sector 88, 90, which are the far end of the Gurgaon, currently is trading at around 7,500 to 10,000 rupees per square feet of rate, whereas just 40 minutes away you are getting a rate of around 2,500 to 3,000 rupees per square feet. So it's a great price arbitrage, and although the current demand is driven by the the outside population, the inherent demand is also very strong given the reason I mentioned about the industrialization. It's in the phase on of the DMIC is coming over there. A lot of infrastructure in terms of airport is coming over there. So potential is huge on the Bhiwadi side.
I have to ask you this. Did you travel on a holiday or a Sunday? I live in Gurgaon and I've never made it to Bhiwadi in 40 minutes.
No, it's not on a holiday. I think rather I traveled there on a weekdays. So it depends on, from which part of the Gurgaon you are probably traveling. So even if it takes you for 1 hour, maybe on some particular day, then also I think, given that, one particular figure I like to point out to you is that a lot of people from Rajasthan after their graduation moved to Gurgaon, and they are earning currently around 25,000 to 1 lakh rupees per month. And in that salary, affording anything on the Gurgaon will be very difficult. And given the new generation, they would like to aspire for some house buying within next 2 to 3 years of their job. So probably Bhiwadi gives them the opportunity to buy something at their ticket size. 1 hour travel is not a very great deal. In many cases in Bombay we also do that. So in that way, I think almost 70% of current demand in Bhiwadi is coming from those kind of population.
So in Bhiwadi, which projects, which builders did you like? Which ones would you recommend?
Right. So there are builders like it's the market. I think in the organized real estate in Bhiwadi almost came up 8 years back. So I think the builders like Ashiana Housing, then there is Cosmos, there is Krish Builder, there is Avalon. So those guys are there for last 7-8 years. Lot of projects are happening. Almost 5,000 units are already delivered. Social Life has come up with new malls, and some of the builders like Ashiana project I like quite a bit. Even there are many other builders whose projects are under construction, coming up with a gated community. So I think that particular Aloha road, which is basically the lifeline of Bhiwadi, both sides of that road, most of the projects are coming up, and it looks to be a very good prospect over there.
You also went in Neemrana. What did you make of that property market? Would you agree that it seems to be a futuristic project, a futuristic property market?
This is a market which is relatively distant from the Gurgaon. So the similar way I was talking about Bhiwadi, about the population influx from Gurgaon, that is not possible over here. It's mostly inherent demand generated from this industrial area plus investors. So if you look at currently, almost 70% of the Neemrana market is driven by the investors, and as we all know that most of the NCR market, which are high investor focus, is currently very weak, and so is the Neemrana. So next level of growth probably in Neemrana will come only when we can see the influx of the industrialization once again.
It could take many months for Neemrana's fortunes to turn if we actually have to first wait for the NCR property market to recover. But Sandeepan, tell us, which projects, which builders did you like in Neemrana?
So, so there are, what I understood is that almost 4,000 units has already been delivered. So there are people like Eldeco, Ashiana is also there. Anantraj has come up with a very large, very low cost housing over there called Ashroy. So obviously Ashadeep builder is there. So all these local builders are already, delivered their first 1 or 2 projects. And most of the buyers are, from the industrial people who are working over there, and a lot of other investors are also there.
And what are the prices prevailing in Neemrana, and what's your outlook on prices?
So it's little bit higher than what it was in Bhiwadi. It's again between 2,800 to 3,000 rupees. And there has been almost 45 to 50% growth in last 3-4 years. Although last 1 year rather than last 18 months there has been no change. But before that there has been almost 50% rise.
So it could take many months for Neemrana's fortunes to turn if one actually has to wait for the NCR's property market to revive. I would personally be wary. But Sandeepan, since you went there, which are the projects that you liked? Which are the builders that you liked? What would you recommend?
So as I mentioned, there has been a higher share of investors' demand in Neemrana. So in many cases they are going for resale, and in some cases they are going for rent. So just to give you a figure, I mean, it is a kind of market extracted figure based on our interaction. If there are 100 units, almost 70 units are being bought by the investors, and of the 70 units, almost 35 are going for resale and 35 are going for rent.
Well, I hope those tips helped you out. We have to slip into a short commercial break. When we return, we discuss the legal problems buyers in Noida are facing and ask DSK Legal for solutions. Stay tuned.